Hey, how's it going? Dan here. And today I want to talk about keeping your vehicles cool so your four-legged family members can stay in the vehicle while you go do something. A lot of times, you know, we can't take our four-pod family members with us into a store or to amusement park or wherever we happen to be going, a museum, anything like that. And sometimes you just have to leave them in the car. And right now it's summertime. I'm sitting out here in the patio, so you're probably hearing a lot of traffic noise. But I want to show you how you can keep your vehicle cool so that your four-legged family members will be comfortable when you do have to leave them for an extended period of time in your vehicle, whether it be a car, well, not so much a car, but a van or RV. Now, right now I don't have any four-legged family members. I'm planning to get them, but I did just get a new job, and I'm in the alternative energy field, and I do solar. So I'm going to be working in the middle of the desert in the summertime, and where I have to park my car is on a big dirt lot with no shade or anything, and I really don't want to get into my car when it's 150 degrees at the end of 8 hours. So we're going to be using something what's called the Hillbilly air conditioner, or the cooler chest air conditioner, and you've probably seen many videos on this, but I have a little different spin on it, and I'm going to show you how that all works and how we put it together. And this just starts with a basic, I'm using a small cooler here, something that probably holds, it's 16 quarts. You probably want to get a larger one, but for my car is a small car, I don't need a lot, so I'm just getting a small one, and then I can also carry it around. I've already kind of started a little bit, so I'll show you how it goes, but this is how we start it right here with a basic, just a cheapo cooler. You can go down to the Goodwill store and buy them for $1, or you can buy them new for, you know, 15 bucks or whatever you want to do. And again, this is just my smaller one. I have a larger one for inside the rig, but this will allow you to keep your animals in your vehicle and keep them cool without having to run the air conditioner or having shore power or anything like that. So let's take a look at how I do this. You're going to start off with your basic cooler here. Now I've already cut the holes, but I'm going to show you what we did here. Just like this. What you're going to start off with is I'm doing it a little different. I've got a dryer vent, just a standard 4-inch dryer vent, because I wanted these flaps to keep in the cool air when it's not running. This basically is 4-inch, so what I did is, well, you can do a couple different ways. You can trace around it with a Sharpie, or in my case, I had a hole saw, and I was able just to drill it with a hole saw in there. And then it didn't quite fit, so I trimmed it out with a razor knife. Trimmed it out. Now this is the exhaust. For the inlet, I'm just using a small fan. And basically, all this is a computer case fan. I bought it for $5, $5.99 at the computer store. Some people have extra ones just laying around. That's all I need for this small one. And so what I did is I measured this for what the size would be, leaving enough so I could still glue it to the outside. And I used another hole saw, obviously a smaller hole saw. And then again I trimmed it with my trimming knife. So the idea is now I've got these holes cut, and you'll see that I've got this insulation. Well, the lid on this is hollow, and I wanted to give it more insulation, so I went to the store and I got some of this spray-in window insulation here. Now it's really good stuff. It does expand, so you have to watch it, and it says you can use it multiple times. Well, forget that, you can use it once. So what I did is I just sprayed it in here and gave a little extra insulation and filled up the top completely with this insulation. And then of course when it's done, you're going to chuck it and throw it away, because this can is still probably, I don't know, 3/4 full, but you just can't spray it. It all gets hard in there. It's not worth it. And this only costs, I think, $6 at the hardware store. You don't have to do it. I just did it just because I'm kind of anal, and that's what I did. So that's the yellow stuff you see there. And then And also too, you got to be careful with it. It is contagious. It gets everywhere, and it's sticky. It's really sticky. So don't get it on your clothes or anything, because you'll never get it off. Anyways, so what I've got now is I've got the hole there for my exhaust, and what's going to happen is that, see, I can still use this as a cooler chest when I get done, because the flaps are going to kind of keep it cool in there. But I'm gonna hot glue this in, but that's how that fits in there, just like that, for right now. Now the fan that I got here is just a standard, it's just a cheapy fan. This is an 80 millimeter, very, very small, probably one of the smallest you could get. And again, some people have these just left over from old computers and such. I just went and bought a new one on this. And what I did is I measured it, of course, and it's going to be hot glued right in here. Now you have to make sure that your fan is going actually the correct way, because you want it to suck in air here and blow it out here. So I just used a Sharpie, measured it, and again I used a hole cutter, hole saw, with my battery operated drill, and it's gonna go right over the top like this. It's going to suck air in and blow it out. But I'm going to do things a little bit different. See, I wanted to be able to use this as a cooler, so I want to keep it low profile so I can still carry it. With this, I can take it in and out of the car and such. So now that the holes are cut, that's the hardest part. And if you don't have a hole saw or anything, you can also use a pair of tin snips, drill a hole, and then cut it out with a razor knife. So, and I used both to kind of trim it. It looks kind of ugly right now, but once the stuff goes on the top, it'll look a lot better. And basically on these coolers, this is what it looks like when you cut it out. You see how it's hollow in there? And so I just added this insulation to make it a little more efficient. Now on these very basic fans, what you're going to find is usually 3 wires, maybe 4, but the only wires you want to be concerned with are the red and the black, This other one's just going to get cut off, the white, and that's more of a control wire for speed, which we're not going to use here, or I'll show you later, there's some other wires in the USB connector. But I've got these stripped off now, ready to connect. I've got the red and the black. That's all you have to be concerned with. And then what I did is I had an old USB extension cord. It used to be like this. So now I want to be able to use this to plug into my solar, to my battery, to whatever I want to do. So this is just a 6-foot cord. You can get it whatever you want, but 6 foot seems to be a good way to go. So I cut the female end off. And again, you're going to see 4 wires here. You're going to see a green, a white, they may be different colors, and then you're going to see a black and a red. Those are the only 2 that I'm concerned with for right now. So I'm going to strip all this stuff off, and actually I'm just going to cut it all off here, all this excess stuff. It's not needed and it just gets in the way. So it leaves me my 2 wires here, red and black, leaving the male USB right over here. These are just the power leads. That's all these do anyways. Now on this fan that I bought, it has a little disconnect here, so I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to match colors here. Real simple. Red to red, black to black. Make sure you get a good connection. Now you could use connectors or whatever you want. Today I'm going to do the poor man's way of doing it. Okay, I've got the 2 reds together. Now the 2 blacks. Make sure they're twisted real good. Okay, so you've got those two together. That's your power lead. So what I'm going to do now, and this is the poor man's way, a little black electrical tape. You can use duct tape or whatever you want. There's not a lot of juice going through this thing. And here's the way that I usually do it. I just tear one piece off first, and the first way that I do it, so I just kind of put it flat on like that and fold it over the top, just like that. And I do the same thing for the other side. Now I'm going to leave that like that until I test it, and then I'll fix it up. Now pretty much any solar system pack will work. Now I just happen to have this one, so it didn't cost me anything. I don't even know what it would cost, but this is a 14-watt little solar panel used for charging you know, phones and other, you know, other devices. It's a fairly powerful one. Actually, I think I won this in a contest. So what it does is it just unfolds like this, and then you can hang it up. Now I'm going to put this in the sun and hook this up so we can test the motor. And it already has a female USB here. And I can just put that on the dash of the car or wherever I want, and I can run the thing for however long it needs to run. Now I've got it plugged in, so you can see that it's running pretty good right off of that solar. So now this is a very, very small fan, so you're probably going to want to get a bigger one for, you know, your other uses, but for right now it runs pretty good. So that's how it's going to mount on there, just like that. Now because that's such a little fan, I'm probably going to have to open this up when it runs. But yeah, it's coming out of there, and it should be enough for the small car. As I said, you're probably going to want to get a bigger fan, but this is just the little one for my little car when I'm parked in the parking lot, just to keep it down. Probably it'll keep it to about 80. And the next video I'll show you the actual testing of it and take temperature readings. The other reason I wanted to use a USB on this is I can connect it into I have another alternative power source here. So I can actually put the solar to this and run this in the car. Plus I can use this in the cigarette lighter if I want to. For those of you that have, you know, dual batteries and that sort of thing, you could run it right off of that, just plug it right into the cigarette lighter. So on this one here, we just plug it in here, and I'll turn it on, and the fan is running. I'll turn it off. So I've got 3 ways to run the fan, and that's why I did the USB connector instead of, you know, any other kind of connector. And I think it's going to work really good. In fact, I know it will because I've used this before. Okay, let's recap before we go any further. You've cut your holes with either a hole saw or tin snips and a razor knife. Okay. Now if you're anal like me, you use your insulation and spray inside of there. Not super needed, but like I say, if you're anal and an engineer, then you'll probably do it. Then we go ahead and put our, whatever you're going to do, you could put a PVC or an ABS nozzle out of here. I don't see the reason for that. I just put this dryer vent on here so you can still use it. Okay. And then what we do is we make sure that our motor is spinning the right way. We test it with the solar, which we've done. And now we're ready to actually put it together. You know, if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend them. This is just a cheapo glue gun. The gun itself costs under $5 at the hardware store, and the glue that goes with it was exactly the same price, under $5. So for under $10, I was able to get a whole kit here, which this stuff is handy as heck. It works really well, and this is just a small little gun. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to hold this down. I've actually never used this gun before, so you guys will be able to test it out with me. This will be it's a Stanley GR10. Stanley GR10 at any hardware store. I think it was $4.98. And I bought the glue that goes with it. I don't know how many sticks are in there. There's a bunch in there. This is going to last you a long time. Anyways, looks like a real good setup. So we'll test it here. I'm going to hold this down here, and I've read the instructions already on this, so we'll see how well this works. Pulling the trigger to squeeze out the glue that's already been preheated on here. Well, it's on there real good. Now we'll go for the technical side. Okay, now I'm going to do the motor here. Now I disconnected the leads to make it easier to work with. Now keep in mind, we've tested this, so we know it sucks from this side and it blows out this side. So what I want to do is I'm going to center that, and I could screw this in too, but again, I think I'd rather just do this. Make sure it turns free in there. Okay, the glue is set up at least good enough for right now. So what we're going to do is, I freeze these little bottles for a number of reasons. First, they're reusable. Second, I can actually drink out of them if they do come to become water. Plus, they fit in my little RV freezer. If you had an external freezer, you can do different, but these I really like. So what we're going to do, and I'm only going to put a few in for right now, is we're going to open this up. I'm only going to put 3 in there right now for demonstration purposes. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hook up my little connection. Again, I'm going to clean up these wires a little bit, but for right now, for this purpose, there we go. Okay, it's sucking air in. Oh yeah. Now this is a very low volume fan. It's only 30 CFM, but that's what I wanted for my little car. Okay, so what we'll do, we're going to end this video here, but that's how you make this what they call a Hillbilly air conditioner or ice cooler air conditioner, but you can hook it up to your solar, and so you can run it all day without having to worry about your batteries. Your 4-pod or 4-legged family members in your RV or car or van are going to be okay. You know, this is going to keep it really low. In part 2 of this video, we'll actually show you the test with the thermostats and the thermometers and how it works. So thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed it, and catch part 2 of the actual test. I wanted to add a little PS to the build here. This motor here is fine the way it is, but I wanted a little more of a plenum, and I wanted to be able to seal this off during, you know, when I want to use it as a cooler chest. So I got some 4-inch ABS, a coupler and such, and I'm going to set it right over the top of this. Make sure the wire is free. and I'm going to glue it down so that I can put the top on here like this, and the handle will still work. So that's my PS to this. Now it's see ya, and stand by for part 2 of this. We'll test it out inside, but I'm going to glue this on and everything will be done for now. Thanks a lot. See ya again, part 2. Hey, thanks for watching. You know, if you guys have any questions or comments, just put them down below. Please like and share this video. And if you don't want to miss any videos, go ahead and subscribe. We'll see you later. Thanks a lot.